When women are financially empowered and they are making the decisions with their own money, families do better, economies do better, communities do better. Money being the number one cause of arguments worldwide.
Interesting.
In relationships. Everyone talks about their wins, and then when recessions happen, no one talks about their losses.
I love that.
When it comes to investing, research consistently shows that women are better at it than men.
No way.
Yep. I've had women tell me that they don't intend to ever out-earn their husband because they're afraid he won't like it and it would emasculate him. The biggest thing that women don't acknowledge, or what they tell themselves, is that it's not possible to be good at it, that it's overcomplicated. The finance world has done a phenomenal job at making money seem complicated. Sit with a piece of paper and write down and journal on what does money mean to me. Don't overthink it, just write. And then it will lead on to, oh my goodness, and that's why I feel this way, and that's why I do this. Money's just an energy. It doesn't actually do anything. It's like that phrase where, money is an amazing servant, but a terrible master.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Wellsome. In today's episode, I have the pleasure to interview one of the best financial coaches here in Dubai, Carol. Welcome to Wellsome.
Thank you, and thank you for the lovely compliment.
Of course, and the reason why I really wanted to have you on the podcast is because we've been talking about financial management and money management and money mindset in our podcast, and it gained so much popularity, and our community wanted actually to know more. So actually, I couldn't not interview you, that you're the OG of this. And I think also women especially, we need to know more about this topic, how we can manage our finances, how we can be financially independent, and a little bit of mindset behind money, which is something that somehow it's missing.
It is, and especially for women, which is why my business focuses on women, because it has been missing for us and we've been kept out of the equation for generations.
Yeah. So first question, which actually you partially answer me now. So your focus is on women and you want to help women in managing basically their finances.
Yep.
Why have you decided to focus on women, and which gap have you seen in women when it comes to money?
So I'm a chartered accountant by trade. My old career was very corporate, regional CFO, on paper, ticks all the boxes for finance. And I found that even when I was married and I was having conversations with, say, brokers, whoever, buying cars, buying a house, that even when it was on my salary, on my CV, the questions were put to my husband. I would ask a question and he would be answered, if you know. And he used to joke about it, going, you're wasting your time talking to me, you need to talk to her. And I was negatively stereotyped when it came to money. I've had people talk down to me and tell me I don't understand. Really, yeah, honestly. And I thought,
even after knowing your position?
Yes.
Crazy.
Or sometimes before they knew my position, and then their whole demeanor towards me changes when they found out what I do, which I thought, that's very interesting. And then when I decided that I wanted to set up my own business, what did I want to do? And I thought, I don't want to give up everything that I have done so far. It's a lot of blood, sweat and tears to get to where I was. How can I help people have a productive kind of daily life, make money, of course, very important, and give back, but use what I have. And so I started looking into finance coaching. Can I teach people about money? And the more and more I researched, I realized women, how... if I was treated like this with my CV on paper, what must women who don't have that CV or don't have that experience in finance and with money, what must they be experiencing? Yeah. So I delved into it and I realized, oh my goodness, like we are kept out of the equation. The amount of women who say to me, I feel stupid. Yeah. I'm just not good at it. I'm never going to get it. I am known as the shopper. Or look, it's not for me, it's for them. And them is usually a he. It's for and we give our power away because there's so much power in money and numbers, and we give that away. And I just thought, you know what, we treat, feel, and behave with money very differently to men. Yeah, and I recognize that in myself and in the research that I did, and that's why I thought, there's a gap here, not just in the market for a business, but actually for humanity. Yeah, in general, because as well the research I showed. The evidence is there that when women are financially empowered and they are making the decisions with their own money, families do better, economies do better, communities do better. So it's actually for the better of the world as well, not just the individual or that gender. And then that evolved into working a lot with couples, which has been really interesting because of money being the number one cause of arguments worldwide.
Interesting.
In relationships. And I would actually say not just marriage relationships, it also brothers and sisters or even friendships. People fight because we don't understand each other when it comes to money.
What's the number one issue that you see in relationships when it comes to money between a man and woman?
Oh, it's the lack of understanding of each other. So when I do workshops, for example, I will always ask the question, what does money mean to you? And people have to reply anonymously, one word, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Yeah. When it's only women in the room, the vast majority of times, I can only think of 2 times that I asked that question that it wasn't security as this big, bold number on top. The other 2 times it was freedom. And security, freedom, independence are the 3 things that are very, very prominent in that word cloud. Yeah. When there's men in the room, that's diluted. I have never had a man say to me, money means security to me. Not once. Now, not to say that men don't feel that, but not once. Men will say power, it's my social status. It will be investment, wealth, it's very, or even sometimes negative things like, a social construct or the root of all evil or pressure. But they'll lean very much towards those very masculine, kind of hardcore with money. Yeah. Very transactional. Yeah. For women, it's emotional. So when you have a man and a woman and you have shared finances in a household, and especially if things are a little bit stressed, and he's trying to approach money in the way that he's been conditioned, not right or wrong, very logical, very bigger picture, very long-term thinking is where they're told. We are like, this is my sense of security. This is my identity. This is my freedom. It's my independence. And also you layer on top of that, I'm not confident talking about money. Yeah. I feel stupid when it comes to money. I'm not good at it. Yeah. And if they don't know that each other are thinking in this way, of course they clash because we don't understand each other in that way.
Oh my God, this topic is so interesting. I feel this podcast is going to be very long. Anyway,
well, I'm here.
Exactly,
happy to talk.
Exactly. So, okay, let's start from the beginning. And let's say that you started this journey to support women in understanding better the world of, finance, money, and everything. We all know that everything starts with mindset. Yeah. What is the biggest misconception that you see in women when it comes to money?
Well, I'm glad you said that everything starts with mindset, because when it comes to money, I think people don't think that. Yeah. They go straight to spreadsheets and the practical, and you must be good at maths. The biggest thing that women don't acknowledge, or what they tell themselves, is that it's not possible to be good at it, that it's overcomplicated. The finance world has done a phenomenal job at making money seem complicated. Yeah. And there are stages that it is, don't get me wrong, but the basics really are not. Yeah. I have yet to meet a human who cannot understand the basics and then build from there. Yeah. And that is the bottom line. Everybody can be good with money. Everybody can sort out, no matter what situation you're in, we can figure it out. So I think the biggest thing is first believing that you can be good with money. The other thing is actually women allowing themselves to want money, to want more. Very often women will come to me and say, Carol, I just want enough. Enough. And I say, why not more? Yeah. And kind of smile and go, well, I don't want to be greedy. Because we are conditioned to be givers. Yeah. Why do you need more? Men are told, go get more. That's your job. Provide for your family, get as much as you can, and then you're successful. So they're pressured to do that, which has its negatives for the human too. Yeah. But for women, we're told generally, why do you need more? What more do you need? I've had friends say this to me. Why are you so ambitious, Carol? Why do you need more? Really? Yeah, women. Because we are, intergenerationally, it's not our role to be seen to be greedy, and we don't want to be seen to be greedy. And the mindset is, for me, the switch is, it's not greed. To want more, because most women are inherently givers. And that is why, back to what I said earlier, why communities do better, families do better, economies do better, because we tend to use our money, we tend to keep it flowing. Yeah,
we nurture with money.
We do, yeah. If you look at the research in marriages where, let's say, kids are involved, they say 90% of the woman's salary goes into the family. Whereas only somewhere between 40, and depends on what you look at. Sometimes it's 40, sometimes it's 80. So it's quite a gap. But of the men's money go into the family. The rest of the men's money, they think longer term. So they're doing the investing, that kind of thing. We pay for the kids' activities. We pay for the travel. We organize the short-term things, the shopping, the groceries.
Yeah.
We use money that way.
Yeah.
And that's why I say, well, the more money you have, the more good you can do.
Oh my God, yeah, this is so true. And it's so crazy that women, they still don't really allow themselves to think that they can actually achieve more. Do you think it's also because subconsciously they think the moment I achieve more, and maybe by achieving more, I have more money and more status, I'm kind of like perceived too powerful, so I'm never going to find someone?
That is huge. That is huge. And it's so many angles to it. So yes, I'm never going to find one because a man can't deal with it.
Yeah.
I've had women tell me that they don't intend to ever out-earn their husband because they're afraid he won't like it and it would emasculate him.
Yeah.
I've had women, because I was the breadwinner in my house, I've had women tell me that it's not healthy, that I'm emasculating my husband, that it's not okay.
Yeah.
No one asks him what he thinks about it. They just assume.
Yeah.
But also, I think we've come a long way in a lot of cultures and a lot of geographies around women working.
Yeah.
We have, but there's two sides to this, which is the other part. One then is where you do have women who are like, no, I will earn. I want more than enough. And I will manifest, and whatever approach you have to that, or I'm going to get my role and I'm going to have my business and I'm going to earn lots of money. But then when things start coming up, is like, oh, now I have this money. To your point, does this change who I am? Does this change how people perceive me? Do I feel safe with this money? And that's where I see a lot of women where they will earn significant amount of money and they're doing really, really well, and that's socially acceptable. However, having money, showing that money, making the decisions around that money does not feel comfortable to them, and it's not always socially acceptable. Wow. An example is where I have women who live here in UAE and they've done really well for themselves and they've bought themselves, they've upgraded their wardrobe, let's say, and they won't bring that wardrobe when they travel home.
Interesting.
Because they don't want to be different to their friends. It's actually, there's research on this, that we don't want to be excluded.
Yeah.
Because if we've leveled up, let's say, in a financial perspective from our friends or our family, we don't want to be judged. We don't want to be excluded. And then there's a fear that people will take, that they'll ask me for that money if I show what I have, or I'll be judged. Because, and I do think this is definitely an Irish thing, where we love the story when someone is succeeding, but we struggle when they're up there.
Yeah.
And people don't want to be in that position. And also from a mindset perspective, if you feel that you are not good with money, you're not capable of holding it, and even if your whole history has been, maybe scarcity, your nervous system is built for that.
Yeah.
It doesn't know what to do when you have too much, and it finds a way to recreate that scarcity.
Yeah.
And that's often when I look at someone's financials and I can see there's lots of fines, or they're very good at, spend a lot of money on gifting, or they will lend money to friends because they're not comfortable with holding wealth. They're comfortable with receiving or earning it, but not holding it.
Yeah.
And that's where I say, when we talk about mindset and even manifestation and abundance mindset, people think that's like the holy grail, right?
Yeah.
The abundance mindset, people will come to me and say, Carol, my mindset's good. I've got an abundance mindset. No matter what I do or what situation I'm in, I will find money. So it might be 2 weeks till my rent is due and I don't know where it's going to come, but I'll manage it. It will come. But I never have money.
Oh.
And that's why. That's the example is like, you can find money, you can manifest it, but you find it to get rid of it.
But hold them,
To hold it, you need the abundance mindset. And that's where financial literacy and upgrading your mindset even further, where I call like the millionaire mindset, where you are comfortable with holding it and growing it without you having to do anything about it.
Yeah.
Not you working harder or, doing something. You actually grow it quite easily on the side.
Yeah.
It's surprisingly unnerving for people.
It's so intriguing to me that because of this mindset and because of this misbelief that we have and negative beliefs, we don't allow ourselves to hold, but also to experience even more miracles, even when it comes to money.
Enjoy it.
Yeah. And I have so many things in my mind that I want to ask you, but the first thing is that you mentioned that, when it comes to big wealth, millionaire, billionaires, the secret is actually that, they can easily earn money, but they can hold money as well.
Yep.
Do you think that you're a financial coach, so you saw different scenarios and different people with different type of wealth. Do you think this is the secret from billionaires and millionaires to have this kind of wealth, or do you think there's actually more?
I think it's a major part of it, because there are plenty of, and again, there's lots of research and books written on this, where individuals who have earned millions, potentially even into billions, but they never have it. They die poor, and not because they intentionally gave it away, like in philanthropy.
Yeah.
Because they just subconsciously found ways to get rid of it. They'll have frauds, they'll have people who steal it on them, they will, they'll shed it because they can't hold it. They're not comfortable with holding it.
Yeah.
And the other side of that, though, is we don't want to kind of veer too much in the pendulum from that to hoarding. That's different. That's where sometimes you lean into, like you see billionaires who are potentially hoarding. That's not necessarily where we want to be. We want it flowing. So you're holding, you're growing, it's flowing, and you're comfortable with it, and you're enjoying it in line with your value system. What's important to you? It is, that's the piece.
Yeah.
Because you can make all the money in the world, but if you don't know what to do with it, then it's just going to go away.
100%. And another misconception that I hear constantly from people is that rich people, they're not good people. Being rich is not good. You're going to become evil, you know?
Yeah.
But then, what do you think about it?
I think that is one of the most dangerous things that we have been conditioned to believe. Because then, of course, if you are a good person, you are going to reject being rich because you do not want to be evil. And I often say, if you're worried about that, then you're fine.
Yeah.
That in itself says, if you're worried about being evil, then money's not going to make you evil.
Yeah.
All money does is gives you the opportunity to kind of express who you are.
Yeah.
You think about it, I might love to dress in a certain way, but if I don't have the money, then I can't do that. The money comes in and I will dress that way. I choose to buy that clothing. Money doesn't make me buy that clothing.
Yeah.
So that's where I often say as well, get your mindset in place, understand your value system, get ready before the money comes. Because then when the money comes, then that risk is so low.
Yeah.
Of being influenced in negative ways, because money is just an energy.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually do anything. It's like that phrase where, money is an amazing servant, but a terrible master.
I didn't know about
Have you never heard this?
No.
Yeah. Money is an amazing servant, but a terrible master. And I often say it's like, if you think of it, it's like a puppy, right?
Yeah.
So a puppy comes and they're so cute and it's amazing and everybody's excited. But if you let that puppy run the house and it's making the rules, your skirting boards are eaten, your clothes are ruined, there's mess everywhere, and that puppy will destroy the place.
Yeah.
If you train that puppy and you take charge, it will do whatever you want. It will be happy, you will be happier, and everyone will be much happier. And I think money is the same.
Yeah.
You
have
make
to
it,
master them.
You have to master it. You don't let it run the household.
Yeah.
You have to be the master and take charge in that way. And then you decide. Money's not deciding anything. You decide how things happen. And that's, again, why I'm so passionate about women. And women, or even men with this value system who are not earning money for the sake of having money and their own power and their ego.
Yeah.
They're earning it for good.
To grow even more, or to give back as well.
To give back, to grow themselves, to support their children, to educate their children, so that we've got, we're uplifting everybody.
Yeah.
I laugh when people say, "Oh, but money's the root of all evil." I'm like, "You're good.
Yeah.
You earn all the money in the world. We're going to be fine with you being wealthy."
Do you think that behind this different misconception and mindset, there's what plays a big role? Culture, education, environment?
All of it. It genuinely is all of it. I mean, I work with people all over the world. I've lived in many different places and worked in many different places.
Have you spotted differences between cultures and educations?
Not hugely. No,
Not really.
Actually think it's personal finance. Personal. It's how we absorb everything that we're exposed to. Now, they will all have an influence, of course.
Definitely.
How we grow up, what our local culture is, what our religion and what that teaches us. But ultimately, all of that is how we interpret it and then how it manifests us. Yeah. And I regularly give this example of, because it's just, I think, the most, for me, strongest evidence of this is, I have 3 kids. I have a daughter who I'd love to say is magnificent with money, but I'm working on her, not yet. She's a very cliche. She loves her shopping. She spends everything she gets, but we're working on her. She's investing now, so that was quite a journey. But I have twin boys. Now, they're just 12 now, and the example I regularly give is the boys, where they are identical twins, and they have me as a parent, and they grew up essentially with the same exposure.
Yeah.
Totally different money mindsets and different behaviors with money and feelings around money and language around money and ambitions around money, which just tells me it's not any one of those things. I think it's you as a human and how you absorb and translate that, your experiences. Now, of course, they're influenced by external things, all of those things. Now, that said, I think when it comes to earning money, I do see in different geographies.
Yeah.
You know, I'm Irish, definitely. I look at my friends, we're very ambitious. You know, earning money as a woman, don't ever question my right to do that. Or if a man should not, you know, that's not acceptable socially. But I do get a lot of private questions going, but Carol, what do I do with this? Or how do I manage this? Or they're still they bring the money in, but they're handing it over. And it's actually thankfully rarely because he's taking it. It's because they don't feel confident holding it, managing it, making the decisions, or they're just so busy doing everything.
Yeah.
They're like, you take care of that piece.
Yeah.
So that, I think I see pockets of that more in different cultures now, where we're a little bit further ahead with what women earn than previously.
Yeah.
But the mindset piece, it's global.
But what about the role of a man in this equation when it comes, because it's so sad to see that maybe there are women that they're shrinking herself because they think that if they're earning more money than the man, it's going to be a problem. But honestly, it is a problem most of the time, as you see with couples and everything. So again, is it something that is personal? It really depends on the type of man maybe you're with, depends on the ego, or what does it?
And I think with men, I feel for men, there's a lot of work that needs to be done.
Yeah.
Because like I said, we're allowed, not be good with money. They're not, right? So it brings its pressures. I regularly work with couples, but even within my social circle, or, when people like that realize what I used to do, let's say as a CFO, much more so than now, they would register, that's what she earns, they would open up to me. And a lot of it is where they would say to me, look, my wife is amazing with the kids, and she organizes the household, and she does so much that I don't feel capable of doing. I wouldn't be as good at it as her. If she earned more than I did, the issue, they say, is not that fact. It's then, what's my role in the family? What am I contributing? What is the point of me if she's doing it all? And that breaks my heart, right? And that's, I guess, the good men, for want of a better phrase, right? That's the wholesome men who just want to do their bit, and that's what they've been conditioned to do. That's your job.
Yeah.
So I totally understand it would be very confronting if suddenly they're like, wait, now this was what I built my whole my education, my career, my drive to do, and then what? I get that. And that's why it's really, really important for couples to have these conversations, ideally before they get married.
Yeah.
As to, how do you feel about money? What do you feel your role in the family is about money? What is your expectations for me once we get married, when we have children?
Yeah.
Do you think that I'm going to give up work? Or, are you happy, comfortable? Not happy, because that's permission. Are you comfortable that I will continue? But that's vice versa. If a woman wants to stay at home and they're having those conversations, there's no right or wrong.
Yeah.
It's always, what do the couple agree on and have a shared respect for each other.
Yeah.
Of course, there are men, ego.
Yeah.
They think that their view of women is that, they shouldn't be earning. It is a negative reflection on themselves if she out-earns him, and then they project that onto their partner. That's very prevalent as well. And I think, again, that's why those conversations before marriage are important, so that you understand, okay, this is how he feels. Am I willing to accept it or not?
Yeah.
And I think men need to do some work, and someone needs to come along to help men do the work, that there's more to them than money.
Yeah.
They contribute more than just money.
Yeah. Also, because now the world is going into a direction where women are getting even more and more ambitious.
Yeah.
So it's not that, oh, because we woke up and then we're like, okay, let's make some money. It's just like, because we know that we have the power to do that, and we want to allow ourselves to just create and and earn and be independent.
And we can, because historically, you know, women often, a lot of the driver for getting married, of course, was love, but it was security.
Yeah.
You know, it was security because we didn't have the ability or the rights to work the way we did now. We didn't have the access to promotions and education to earn what we do now. And more women are realizing, I actually don't need to be in a relationship for those reasons. I want to be in a relationship for a partnership.
Yeah.
And it's two very different approaches that women are thinking, well, I can do this on my own. I can build my own security, which is so important to me, my freedom, my independence. And I want a man who matches that.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I think in society a little bit, there's a misbalance.
Yeah.
Why women are, you know, a little bit further ahead on that trajectory and men are not catching up. So they have a bit of work to do to realize, actually, this is reality.
Yeah.
I need to figure it out.
Yeah, this is so interesting. Well, you said also that when you're working with your clients, you work on the mindset, but you also work on the pillars. Tell me more about these pillars. Is it based on the value of the client? And based on that, then you work on the money mindset? So how does it work?
So money mindset underpins everything that I do.
Okay.
To be honest, it's not often that we do pure money mindset sessions where it's purely coaching, delving into something that's really deep rooted.
Yeah.
Because thankfully, most of it doesn't seem to be. Most of it is just permission, acceptance that you can do it, bringing awareness to it.
Just understanding.
And understanding that this is influencing how I behave.
Yeah.
So what I do is when people ask me, how can I start? I say, if you're doing it on your own, start with your mindset. Don't go to the spreadsheet. However, when I work directly with people, majority of the time we will go directly to the spreadsheets.
Yeah.
Because that is where the real power is. But that's because I'm a trained coach and I can manage that with the person. You know, I can help them through because mindset pieces will come up.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say don't do that by yourself necessarily, if you're feeling very like scarcity mindset or really scared about money or really holding yourself back.
Might not work.
It'll be very confronting.
Yeah.
You know, and it'll be very frustrating. And we go into a lot of negative self-talk. I'm stupid. See, I'm not good with this. Why did I spend that way? Should have, could have, would have. And then if you don't have someone there like that professional to help you work through that, then you probably are not going to push forward and you'll just give up and see, I'm not good at it. 100%. Whereas what I do is with the spreadsheet, I hold your hand through it. Yeah. And we look at it and I'm there to catch the language and delve in when I see it rising and bring awareness to it as we're going through the spreadsheets. Yeah. And I find that's actually really powerful because the most relevant things will come up. Because people say, this is my life in numbers, Carol. Yeah. It's very vulnerable. People often cry because, you know, it's just something that's been buried for a long time. Yeah. And then we work through a plan. I don't say budget. It's a cash flow plan for the next year. And then after that, we can delve deeper into mindset if needed, or we do other things like getting rid of debt or investing or whatever's relevant to that person. Because like I said, it's personal finance. Like each couple is different. Each person is different. Yeah. So I treat each person as they come. Yeah.
So when a woman comes to you and say, well, I mean, I'm not very good in managing my finances, but I guess I just have to stop spending. Yeah. What do you think about it?
I say no, because what is the point in having money if you're not going to spend it? Like it's just a number on a screen then that feels hollow. Yeah. No, I say, okay, let's look at the spreadsheet to see where you are spending, what's actually important to you and what's not. So the low-hanging fruit, what's not actually important to you? What's not in line with your value system? What are you seeing on this spreadsheet where we categorize, you know, all of your spending over ideally at least 6 months? And you look at it and go, I actually don't care about that. You know, it might be, I mean, a cliche one again, but it's an easy one, is food deliveries. Yeah. You know, people say, oh, it's just convenience. I do it because there's no reason not to. Yeah. The money's there. But when I look at how it adds up, oh, wow. I always say, like, it's not about saving and restriction. It's about redistribution. Yeah. So rather than spending that, I don't know, 1,000 dirhams over a period of time on something that you're like, actually doesn't add to my life, don't really enjoy it necessarily. It's just a habit. spend that on a nice pair of shoes.
Yeah.
You know, it's not actually just about putting it into investing. It's about realigning your spending. So it's adding to your life. You're enjoying it. You don't feel guilty. You don't regret, while also taking care of your future self, of course. That's a huge part of it. So I said, no, let's not. It's like, I'm not going to say to someone, you know, I want to lose weight.
Yeah.
You know, just eat 500 calories a day.
Yeah.
It's fine for a day. And then next thing I'm eating everything in the fridge. It doesn't work. It's not sustainable.
Yeah. So the first thing that you would actually advise people, your women, is just like to redistribute maybe the money, money they're spending, because sometimes we're spending money in, like, for example, subscriptions.
Yes.
You don't know you have so many subscriptions.
They're there in the background. You don't even remember they exist.
Exactly.
Until you get the annual charge and you're like, damn it, I meant to cancel that.
Yeah, and I've never used this app once, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the clarity piece. So the first thing to do, whether it's the practical of where my money is going and also on the mindset, is getting some clarity around it. Because people will come to me and say, Carol, I don't understand. Like, I feel like I don't spend a lot of money. I think I should. The shoulds are very heavy in finance. I should be saving X amount per month, but it never happens. And I don't know why. I feel like there's a hole in my hand or money's falling through my fingers. And I say, have you ever sat down, not just like thinking where your money is going? Because, I mean, we're tapping constantly. We don't run spreadsheets in our brains. We cannot know what everything is. And like that, those hidden ones like subscriptions or things that are running that we don't even see. Sit down with your credit card. Let's say you spend everything on your credit card. Sit down with it and actually analyze it. The truth of it, the facts. And that's all it is. This is facts, without judgment, without regret, just to learn clarity. Yeah. So powerful. Yeah. Starting there, but with that mindset of just curiosity and clarity.
Yeah.
And when I know better, I can do better. And that's all we're trying to achieve here. And then decide, oh, I don't like that anymore. And you can combine that with, if you are feeling like maybe you're overspending, and people will tell me they want to control their spending. I don't like the word control because we just as humans push against that. So it's not sustainable either. It's healthy habits. Yeah. A simple one is when, let's say for the next week, when you go shopping and you're about to buy something, just take a moment. Go, how do I feel right now? Yeah. What has triggered this purchase? Do I actually want it? Yeah. Am I going to regret it later and think, oh, I'll have to return or feel guilty when I wear the thing? What is happening? You know, and with that,
hold
like
your impulsivity,
yeah. Just understand yourself a bit more. What is coming up? What if you're shopping online? Why did you suddenly open up whatever it is and buy? Were you feeling sad? Were you feeling lonely? Were you feeling exhausted because you had a tough week in work?
There's an emotional side behind as well.
What's the emotion behind it?
Yeah,
because it's rarely the shopping; it's the trigger.
Yeah.
So when we can uncover the trigger, then the shopping falls away.
Yeah.
And how can I do something that's a bit more healthier for me, that is not going to make me feel guilty or put me into credit card debt, to appease this emotion or this feeling right now that I'm trying to bury?
Yeah.
That's a really powerful one. And not even taking any action for a week, just observing. Yeah. What do you learn about yourself? And then maybe journal on it if you're comfortable with journaling. You learn a lot about your habits and why you do things. And people tell me it's so easy then to just go, what am I doing? Because so much of it's mindless. Yeah. So that combined with, let's look at the actual data, lift that bonnet, have a look, and put the time and effort in to the admin, like that. Cancel the spreadsheets, it's worth it. Yeah. But very careful with the mindset, because we can feel like I work really hard and now I have to cut things down. Yeah. What is the point of all of this? Even though you're saving money, it needs a purpose. Purpose is really important when it comes to money. Because even if you spend, I had a woman come to me one time and she saved 80% of her salary. Yeah. She was on a really good salary and she was saving 80%, and she'd accumulated, you know, it's relative, right? So a lot of money in the bank by anyone's standards. It was a lot of money in the bank. But she was like, what's wrong with me? It feels empty. Like, am I greedy? Then we go to self-criticism. Am I greedy? What's wrong with me? Like, is it not enough? Is it enough? I'm like, why are you saving this money? Because I should. Okay. And I want to retire one day. Okay. But do you know at what point you can retire? What that means? No.
Yeah.
Her sole focus was save as much as possible, because that's what she was told to do. But she hadn't thought bigger than that. So she was massively restricting her life to save for something that had no purpose really, other than I want to retire one day, which she wasn't excited about.
Yeah. And she didn't even know in which, like, what was the lifestyle behind the retirement, you know?
What is the point of it? So we broke it down and looked at her salary, her savings. This is I love doing this with people, especially when they come with this.
Yeah.
And it's the self-sacrifice that they've imposed on themselves, but they're not getting any, like sense of achievement out of it. So we take their savings, and all of your savings needs a purpose. How much is it? Is your cash cushion, your emergency fund. But again, language is really important. Who wants to have a pot of impending doom sitting in their bank account, and what emergency is going to come at me? Cash cushion. When life comes, I can deal with it. Yeah, much nicer, right? Yeah. Some people call it their sanity fund, their runaway fund, whatever. You find fun language to call it. That's basically your security. Yeah. No matter what life throws at me, I can deal with it financially. I'll deal with life and come back to the money. Well, how much is that? What do you need in the next 2 to 3 years? Are you planning to buy a house, go on a big holiday, pay off some debt? I don't know, like short-term goal. Yeah. Put some money towards that if they exist. Anything beyond 3 years, definitely beyond 5 years, that would really need to be invested in some way. Yeah. And what is that for? People will say, oh, well, retirement. Yeah. I think I've had maybe 2 or 3 people in the life that I've done, the time that I've been doing this, that have got really excited about retirement. They're like, oh. Otherwise, everyone's like, it's another chore, right? Yeah. Have to do it. It's adulting. But when I say, okay, let's put it towards your financial freedom. Oh, really? Can I do that? I'm like, yes, but it's the same thing. Yeah. It's language. It's the same thing. You don't have to work anymore. You choose. It's just the mindset behind it, the energy behind it. So let's 5 years plus look at your financial freedom, how this is going to translate. If you keep investing in this way over 5 years, you'll be able to live this lifestyle in this location, kind of thing. Yeah. The detail is important. And then suddenly that money becomes totally different. Yeah. Totally different. Yeah. She's excited, she's energized, she's motivated to do more. She's going to shop, maybe not the 80% lady, but someone else will say, oh, like I shop less because now I have a reason not to. Because sometimes it's like, the Parkinson's law, where it says if we have a task, have you heard of the Parkinson's law? No. Where there's a study done, and it was humans, if we were given a task and we were given 3 hours and we're given 3 days, we will fill the 3 hours or we will fill the 3 days and get the task done in that time, right? This is what it showed. I think the same applies to money. If it doesn't have a purpose, if we don't have a deadline, we will just spend it, right? We will, because there's no reason not to. When we're feeling sad, we'll buy myself something nice because why not? 100%. Whereas when you give it a purpose and you have this emotionally driven goal that you have clarity on, that's in line with your values, that's important to you, not what someone told you should do. I never tell people what they should do. We like, what do you want to do? And let's build towards that. Yeah. Then they'll say, well, I'm not going to waste money on that because I'm so excited about this, so I'm going to put my money there. And it's not restriction. It's just redirection for something that is important to you. And it feels so much lighter and nicer. And that's why it's quite actually easy to make those shifts. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. What do you think about investments and investing? Because a lot of women now, I feel, especially in Dubai, they're very interested in knowing more about how to invest. Yeah. But this is something that can come alongside with the work of money mindset and everything? Or do you think first we have to work on the basics, the mindset, and then we should invest? No, you can do both at the same time. And actually starting to invest can really help your mindset because it's empowering. Because it feels like, oh, I can do this. And I can do it. And this is why I'm passionate about teaching women to do their own investing. So I don't bring like the investment advisor who takes the money and invests it on your behalf. I mean, there's a place for that, don't get me wrong, but I think we need to start with our own investing so that you feel, again, it's about confidence and it's clarity and it's substance, right? You've shown yourself, I can do this. Yeah. It's not theory. Yeah. So that if you do then go to a financial advisor, your energy and your mindset around those conversations is different. Too many people just go, you manage my money and bad things have happened, When it comes to investing, again, research consistently shows that women are better at it than men. No way. Yep. I love that. We are. We've been conditioned to believe we don't know how to do it and it's not for us. Yeah. And you know why it is? Intuition. It's largely driven by intuition. The amount of women who've come to me and said, this guy was trying to get me to do this investment and everything looked great, but just something in me said, no, am I stupid? Like, am I too emotional? Like, this is the wrong way to manage money. And I look at it and I'm like, oh, you were right. Yeah, gut feeling. They don't know why they're right, but the gut feeling. Yeah. Also, we're not that interested in it, so we leave it alone. Yeah. Men tweak because they're told you need to show off your winnings. And, it's part of the bravado that they've been conditioned to believe is part of being successful. It's not a criticism, it's just like, oh. Whereas actually the research shows that you buy, you leave, let it do its thing, let compound do its magic, diverse investing that outdoes trading, buying and selling constantly, tweaking, and women are just more interested in that.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of the reason is like we're not interested in reading Bloomberg every day in general. Of course, there are plenty of women who do, but in general, we're like, I just want to put my money away and move on with my life and do other things that are more important to me. And because we are comfortable with doing that, we end up doing better.
Yeah, true. Is there something that it's so wrong that we have been taught, or when it comes to financial management, money management, and everything that it comes with the world of wealth, like, for example, a misconception or a way of investing? For example, investing in a specific thing that you think it's not worthy, but everyone is talking about.
Yeah.
Which one do you think is not, it can be investing in real estate, or it can be like a misconception?
I think the biggest disservice we've been done as women is, first of all, to believe that we can't do it, that we're not capable. The second, that we can't do it in our own way. And that's actually for men as well. The next big thing, everybody's talking about it, and we're kind of swept up like sheep to follow that way. Yeah. But the danger with that is everyone talks about their wins. And then when recessions happen, no one talks about their losses.
Oh, that's so true.
So true. And you think
say it loud.
An example I often give is like when crypto was going up, everyone crypto. What, you're not in crypto? How are you not in crypto? This guy's made so much money on crypto. Yeah. Look at this. And then it crashed and suddenly there was silence.
Oh my God.
People weren't like, oh my God, this guy lost so much money on crypto. I lost so much money on crypto. No one talked about that. So all you hear is how you're being left out, the FOMO. You're not good enough. You've been left out. It's too late. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Because you don't know the full picture. And also that there is one right way. People are very emotionally attached to their way of doing things with money. And that's not just investing, it's always.
Yeah.
And I say, look, your best friend might love property. We're Irish, we love property, right? We're obsessed with it. So it's very acceptable in Ireland to buy property. And that's our thing. We buy property, that's our security. It's tangible, we understand it. And of course, there's other reasons for that separately. But we have that. Talk to a lot of Irish people about investing. They're like, oh, no, that's for like people who are better than us, who are smarter than us and that are more educated and have wealthier than us, right? And then you go to other cultures. It can often be where culture comes in for this. It's all about investing in the stock market, and that's where the strength is, and that's what you should do. You should do. Or you should be in crypto. Someone else will say, oh, sure, we could be dead tomorrow. What's the point? What's a YOLO? Like, you only live once, get rid of it. And again, that can be quite cultural too. I have noticed that when it comes to investing, I've seen cultures lean towards certain ways. And I just say to someone, okay, it's like window shopping for ideas. They're all, you have their merits. None of them are necessarily wrong. Which one do you want to do? Which one is in line with your values? Yeah. Which one actually ticks the boxes for what you want to achieve? I had a lady come to me and she had plenty of money to buy property and all her family bought property and they were telling her, buy property, buy property. And she came to me because she said, Carol, I think there's something wrong with me. And always, there's something wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with you. I can't do it. Yeah. I cannot bring myself to do it. When I try to look at properties or I talk to an agent, I'm just like, I can't do it. So now I'm sitting all this money. They're putting pressure on me and criticizing me, and I feel really bad about the situation. Yeah. And then I feel guilty because, like, how lucky am I to be in a position to buy a property and I'm stressed? We go around and I say, okay, right, about property. Let's look at other options. And then with her, we looked at exchange traded funds and stock market, and her face lit up when she understood it and she loved it. And she did it. Yeah. And she invested her money. And it's not to say she won't do property in the future, but it's like what matters is you understand what you're doing, you're comfortable with it, and you're happy with whatever risk that involves, then that's right for you. Yeah. Because she said, I don't want to be a landlord. It's too much work. It feels, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. This feels good to me. Wow. So she put her money to work and she invested, and that's what matters.
That's amazing. Carol, what's the number one piece of advice that you would share with women who wants to start this journey on getting to know more about their financial status and grow and make some money? Like a number one thing that you would like to share with our community?
If you've never thought about this, because women will often tell me, I just don't think about money that way. I think about my health, I think about food, I think about fitness like this. Yeah. Didn't occur to me to think about money this way. If that's your starting point, sit with a piece of paper and write down and journal on what does money mean to me.
And the first thing that comes out in your mind is the answer?
Yes, don't overthink it. Just write what comes up, and then it will lead on to, you'll start thinking, oh my goodness, and that's why I feel this way, and that's why I do this, and this makes so much sense, and it came because my dad used to say this thing when I was young. And then, if you're used to journaling, you'll know this. You're like, is that true? Is that actually benefiting in my life? Is this a bit limiting belief that's holding me back that I was never aware of before? It's really powerful to start there.
Yeah.
And then bringing awareness to your habits.
Yeah.
If you're comfortable, go straight to the spreadsheet. But very few people are, because they go through that lens of analysis of like, and it feels like a chore and self-criticism. It's like jumping on a scales, if you're not happy with the number, it just feels bad. But you understand yourself a bit more about money first, if you can, and with empathy. No one does this deliberately. We are accumulation of what we're exposed to, and then build on it from there. But when you are brave enough, I do honestly, there's so much power in the numbers. I am an accountant at heart, after all. There's so much power in those numbers. It will tell you how you're living your life, what is happening with your money. So it is worth it. Every single person I've done this exercise with, no matter how scared or apprehensive or excited they were, and no matter what they found, because sometimes we find things that are like really upsetting in those numbers, they'll always say without fail, I'm glad I did it and I wish I did it sooner, because I was stressed anyway. Ignoring it was not reducing my stress. At least now I know, and I can take charge, and I can make a plan.
And we can say to women that it's okay to be, wealthier and to want more. I would say.
Not only okay, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's make it an expectation to want more. Because like we say, everyone benefits. The males in our life will benefit when we have more. And the sooner they realize that, the better. Everybody benefits.
I agree.
When women feel more financially empowered. So we really need to work on the global societal view that it's good for women to be financially empowered. And that can mean many things, of course. It doesn't mean you have to earn millions. It means that you are making conscious, value-driven decisions with your money. You're not just shedding it, hiding from it, giving it away. That you're the one driving where that money is going.
Wow. Carol, thank you so much for this episode. It was so interesting, and I feel we have to do a second round because the amount of things that we can scratch and look at in different aspects. But if people want to work with you or follow you, where they can find you?
I'm most active on Instagram. Conscious Finance Coaching is my page. Of course, they can reach out to me on carol@consciousfinancecoaching.com. Or if they like LinkedIn, I'm under my own name on LinkedIn, Carol Glynn.
Amazing.
That's the way to go.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being with me today. If you have any question for Carol, please let us know in the comments. Do not forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.